Hello and welcome to the Tech Force podcast show. I'm your host Shivani. So today we're going to have a technical podcast. If you are interested to know what is going on in the world of technology and what is this hype around blockchain, cryptocurrency and NFTs, then this is the right place. Let's welcome our guest for today, Pravash Dey. Pravash is an entrepreneur, mentor and philanthropist. He is the founder of US India Blockchain Council and also a next generation member in UK India Blockchain Council. Let's get to know Pravash more. Hey Pravash, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. So how would you like to introduce yourself?
You can simply put me like I have the US India Blockchain Council. So I'm a disruptor in chief or curator of US India Blockchain Council. Other than that, I have few companies which is very much focused towards foreign direct investment or you can say building a startup ecosystem in India. So there are a couple of companies I work with on that. So that's all about myself.
Yeah, so I would like to tell our audience that Pravash is uh, Pravash is an expert is a next generation member in UK India Business Council. Has a startup. He's a Britain local champion for Ealing Borough. Is it right? Am I pronouncing it wrong?
That's right, Sivani. So I started working with Startup Britain, particularly with the ecosystem building of Startup Britain. So as I was living in Ealing and doing my business in Ealing, so I've been actually fortunate enough to be chosen as a startup champion for Ealing Borough. So that's a council which works with like very much similar to India, how a normally MP works with
Right.
6 or 7 constituencies like that. Here we have the same format.
Right. Got it. Okay, so the topic for today is blockchain, future roadmap, cryptography, and NFTs, all in one podcast episode. Right.
Yes, that's a lot of things to digest at one go, but I think we can take it step by step and get where we want to be.
Yeah, definitely. So, how do you explain blockchain and crypto to a noob, like who has no idea what is going on in the technical world? How would you explain what blockchain is to people like I would say people like me? So,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm sure you are not, a layman for blockchain as a concept. So basically, in a very nutshell, I would say blockchain is a decentralized database, right? So if
Right.
you're building any software as a service product or a technology product, so definitely you need a database to back it up, right? Or whether otherwise it's going to be a simple website which gives information to the public, but there is no interaction. So
Oh,
basically to build that you need a database software which actually backs you up, so you know who is coming, who is discussing with you, who, if you have an e-commerce platform, then you know who is buying, where is their where do they stay, how do they pay, and all these things. So
right.
yeah, so in blockchain we put it at a decentralized technology, so it's not controlled by any single person and it's also immutable. So say for example, I very clearly say, like, if you put an Excel database, right, and you share that Excel sheet with 3 other people, and they can simply download from your email and they can change the data inside, and then they can forward and do whatever they want with any other person, right? And you cannot control it because you have already sent that database to these 3 people. But if you put the same database in blockchain and share with them, so wherever it needs to be required, right, sending or sharing the data or thing, they cannot literally change it. So whatever you have created is your own original content, and if they want to add on something, so that would be created as a node, or that would be created an add-on. So literally you cannot change it, and if you want to change anything that is permissible blockchain, so you need a consensus. So say for example, you sharing some data with me, and if I want to change it, then obviously I need a consensus from you. saying that, okay, Pravas has the rights to change it or add it. So that is also getting verified by other people in the group or ecosystem as well. So that means it is secure, it's transparent, and as well as like it's for the future as well, which is get those contracts. So the transaction takes place within minutes or seconds.
Right. So like as a new data comes in, it creates a fresh new block, and that's all the blocks that are formed with each transaction that takes place, right?
That is right. I mean, if you want to simplify, if you want me to simplify this, say for example, right now we were starting a transaction, right? I have to
Right.
say 1,000 rupees to you, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can do it just simply by bank transfer from my bank to your bank, or else I can use any third party UPIs like Paytm or Google Pay or XYZ to you, right? uh,
Right.
done the transaction, forget about it. But the transaction is done for a particular purpose, and if that purpose needs to be revisited, or say for example after 6 months or 1 year or 5 years, there is a conflict between you and me for some XYZ reason, right?
Right.
And you want to verify me okay, whether we have done the transaction, is that the transaction is legally legit, if it is done, what is the outcome of it. And there is no way we can actually track this. So the only way we can track this, if you have a screenshot of this thing transaction that you have done, or else you go to RBI or central bank and ask your bank, can I actually get a bank statement of that particular month or particular time or particular date, so that you can actually verify that with the third party. That is any
Oh,
legal process to go ahead. So
right.
it's a lengthy process. Second thing is, because it's owned by the central bank or RBI or any particular your bank, so
Hmm.
without your authorization, they are not going to give it to anybody. Like say for example, my lawyer wants this data, but they cannot get it because nobody has actually given the authorization authority to get it. But if we put all these things in blockchain, so today if you are doing a transaction and my lawyer is involved, my other people, my other colleagues are involved, so you get everybody saying, okay, Pravas has done a transaction of 1,000 rupees or XYZ rupees to Shivani, right?
Right. Got it.
Means that is transparent to everybody. Everybody has given consensus. So even if after 5 years, 10 years down the line, if we have a conflict, then we can always trace back and get that things done because it's immutable. So nobody can actually change it.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. So like different types of blockchain, right? So like if like is there a difference between a Bitcoin blockchain and Ethereum blockchain? So like can you explain this also, like how blockchains differ internally from each other?
Right. So to understand that, we have to really go step by step. So basically, if you say what is blockchain and what is the development, so it comes like private blockchain, then there is a public blockchain, there is
Right.
also permission blockchain. So private blockchain is something that I created a node and I keep it for myself. So it's like, say, for example, a digital data of my all education certificates, my
Right.
reports, my the see for my, say for example, my financial transactions, or
Right.
say for example like my investment reports, right? So
Hmm.
all I can
Hmm.
keep that in my private blockchain and create a block. So what is public blockchain? Public blockchain is very much available for anybody and everybody to see it, but if they want to use it, they need to take the public permission. So say for example, you are paying taxes to the government, right? And that data is anyway available with the government, right? And
Right.
government makes policies according to that. Like say for example, your healthcare benefits, or you talk about your education benefits,
Hmm.
or simply put it like your welfare initiatives that. And
Yeah.
so they can get access to these your tax reports and everything, and then use it for the policy purposes or for the development purposes. But tomorrow there is a thing happened with you, like say for example COVID situation, right? And
Right.
we need blood banks, we need oxygen, we need beds, we need all these things, but these data are not available to anyone. So if this data would have been available to you, me, and anybody in the healthcare ecosystem, or even the bureaucrats, like say for example at district level or council level or panchayat level, right? They could
Right.
have taken measures, identify who is the person who has actually been suffering, what they need, and when actually they can provide these services.
Right.
So because it was not available online, so there is no access of it and there was no tracking of it. So that is where you need actually permission to get to basically share the data with third party, and how much you want to basically give the data. You don't need to give everything of that data, like the person, the date of birth, the everything what he has put digitally. You probably
Yeah.
need to give a name, email address, contact number, or something that is required for a service. So that the government, or the party who has created it, they can actually decide how much they want to share with the third person and how long they want to share it. So that is a permission blockchain. So
Got.
that everybody gets the information, take whatever it is required, and then after do it. So just to come back to your question, whether what is Bitcoin blockchain and what is Ethereum blockchain. So when actually nobody knows exactly where the Bitcoin comes from, and everybody says, okay, Satoshi Naka, and
Yeah.
he actually created it. So but I mean, there are a lot of times it has been verified that who is that particular person who created that first block, and it's so far not been pretty much out. There are a lot of case studies, people use it, but it's not actually legit so far. Nobody claimed for it, right? So
Right.
that is where
Yeah.
you have, like, there's 21 million bitcoins been available, it is going to be mined, and it's good. So people own it, people actually mine it, so which is, we call it hard forks. And then after this is shared with on the basis of a tokenism system or cryptocurrency or cryptography, you can say. But the good part of it is the future developments that is happening, like Ethereum app, mobile applications of Ethereum dApps, and
Yeah.
the currency is basically called Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
So even if for a layman, if you are doing a small transaction in your bank, it is INR to INR, but still you don't actually physically transfer that Indian rupees or Great Britain pound to that particular person's account. You do it
But
online,
online. Yeah.
and automatically the bank settles it within your banks, and then you have access that money, somebody who has actually sent it to you, right?
Right. Right.
So it's a pretty similar system that is being used in decentralized app. So anybody who has a mobile wallet where they can keep the digital currency, and they can send it to XYZ person, whoever is in need of it, or wherever they want to send it. So this is a very simple way of saying what is exactly the Ethereum currencies. So it's all actually different currencies. You have like multi-chain currencies, you have other tokens as well now coming as non-fungible tokens. So it's all part of the various blockchains that we have just decided. So it could be created in private blockchain. If I'm creating a token in the name of Pravash token, right?
Yeah.
And I might have 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers who are working for me
Hmm.
or working with me, and I just need to reward them. That's it. It's an incentive. So what I did is basically from my wallet, I sent 10 tokens to everybody's wallets who are already working with me. So
Right.
blockchain, but then I send it to anybody. But if the money is available, like say for example, there are certain countries who have already created a digital money for themselves, like UAE is one of them, who is coming up with a legit token or legit money, digital currency of it.
Digital.
uh,
Yeah.
Russia has already created it, and it has started using the huge cases for its civil aviation, like the ERC-20 tokens, we call it, the hyperledger token. So what is
Hyper. Yeah.
exactly? Yeah, so it's a very much like a token that is created in simple smart contract to fix the operations.
How a currency that has been formed, like you just talked about, like Russia has created that token. So how would they be able to use it? Are there like applications, blockchain-based applications on on what they transact, or what will be the procedure?
Yeah, it's going to be stored in a decentralized app, or a DApp, I would say. right? So there is a
Okay.
user interface part of it. There is
Yeah.
also a smart contract audit part of it.
Audit. Yeah.
You can decide whether you want to go ahead with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or have your own ERC20, or say, for example, your own token. Whatever you decide, it can be built on technology, right?
Right.
We call blockchain as a service. So you basically develop that and you put it in an exchange platform. Like, say, for example, now you want to do a trading or investment for XYZ company. Say, for example, Reliance, right? How do you either go a private equity model, you can contact their management and invest in it, or else there is also stock market available where you can just go and buy stocks
Buy
or in
stock.
the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is how it is going to be. So basically, when a country comes up with a digital token, it has to create its own stock exchange or exchange, I would say, because stock exchange, again, we are going back to fiat currency. So they have to create that digital currency stock exchange, like any crypto exchange or something that you can actually decide, like how
Yeah.
Wajrix or XYZ companies. I don't want to name it here because it's might get into legal issues because of that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Good.
yeah, so basically you can create an exchange and you can then after you can actually do a transaction of tokens in that particular exchange. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a closed door earlier, but right now because of Ethereum, it's now available mostly open source as well. So you don't need a very hard code to basically mine these coins and build it. It's available with open source technology, so you can just simply go and buy tokens or allocate tokens on your platform. So we call it proof of concept.
Yes. So you explained about like blockchain with cryptocurrencies and tokens and everything. Can blockchain be used in different industries? Like I've read the study of supply chain management and other like different industries. So like why don't you walk us through how like the world with AI and blockchain would be like drastically changing how we use technology today? So, like, explain how blockchain would be used in different industries and how AI and blockchain are like working together.
Okay, so they are very two separate concepts or industry concepts you are bringing it together. So I would tell you, like, if you want to use blockchain in a normal, so you need a digital identity. So say for
Okay.
example, Pravash Dey, right? You physically I am available, you are talking to me. So you now know Pravash is existing in the world, right?
Right.
So similarly, say for example, tomorrow I want to do a virtual call with 5,000 people. So maybe 5,000 people won't know me personally, but they can listen to me. They can, follow me what I am doing. And if I'm already building a product, so they can buy it online, right?
Right.
So when they want to buy it, they have to come to an e-commerce platform or a digital platform when they want to buy it. So that
Got
is where you have your identity crisis, or you can say identity constraints, because they don't know whether this particular prototype or this particular product is built by Pravas or Manish Malhotra, say for example, right?
Right. Yeah.
Bring that authenticity that it is built by Pravas or it is built by Manish Malhotra. So you need to get that information in front of you, which is authentic. So
Right.
when I am putting a strength or putting a more emphasis on authenticity, so that is what required, right? Once it is
Right.
there, then you can know about where exactly this product is created. Like say for example, you're talking about a Kashmir shawl, right, which is very
Yeah.
very expensive. It is being created by a very small group of people, highly expertise, and also very very authentic products, right? uh,
Yes.
you see there are a lot of e-commerce platforms, or there are a lot of retail companies actually selling salts in the name of Kashmir salt, but they're not actually originated from Kashmir salt, or they're not being created by them. So you as an end user have no information about it, but you want to get this and paid for it, right? But as I believe, as a user, you should have all the information. You should have a research. You should have know exactly the experience, how exactly it looks like, and before you go ahead and spend money and buy it,
And yeah. Right.
right? So those So the whole process can be used in blockchain. So doesn't matter how many process or how many touch points are required. So say for example, there is somebody who actually provides cotton, somebody who actually does the stitching part of it, somebody who does the embroidery part of it, somebody who actually does the packaging part of it, somebody who does the branding, marketing and development part of it, and somebody actually develops the technology which actually puts all that has been made on a picturized format or visual format, so that you see it on your computer or in your mobile interface and then you buy it. So there is a lot of touch points or contacts already involved in the process.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
as an end user paying for it, you need to know what is exactly your product is, where the product is right now, when you are going to get it, after getting it, whether you are satisfied or not satisfied of it. If it is not, if you are not satisfied, is there any refund policy around it so that you can get it back, right? Your money back. So
Yes.
all this process can be actually put into blockchain in a very simple supply chain framework, and then it can be given to you on your mobile or on your email, however you want. So that is
Okay.
basically the UX or UI design part of it, of the blockchain, or I would say the use case of it.
Use
So
case of it, right?
yeah, so it can be used for supply chain, it can be used for aviation, it can be used for health tech. You can say right now fintech is a big word, so it can be used for financial transactions, it can be used for decentralized financial transactions like physical assets, right?
Yeah.
Or say for example, let's take an example of art from an artist, right? So
Right.
nobody knows about it, who actually does the artist, where they got these colors from, where they get the all the canvas from, right? But all you see is a good art in your Instagram page and you buy it, or you
Yes.
want to invest in it, but there is nothing at the background. You cannot actually get all the information. So if I'll simply put it in blockchain, then you will get A to Z that I questioned you on your page itself or on your information that you are sourcing. And then you can decide whether you want to invest in it, you want to buy it, or you want to just buy and resell it. Right. And
Got.
based on
Yeah.
that, you can actually use the blockchain for even creating a what we call it partner sales program. So say for example, you bought it from something from Amazon or eBay or Etsy, and then you want to resell it. So you can actually do that as a vendor as well.
Yes. So yeah, that was my next question as well. Like, what's the difference between fungible and non-fungible tokens? Like NFT is huge right now. So, like, why is there a huge hype in NFTs? And like, what is the difference between a fungible token and non-fungible token?
Right. So let's first understand what is NFT is. Then after let's take it from one by one. So say for
Right.
example, NFT stands for non-fungible token, right?
Yes.
So without making it too much complicated or worried, I would say, say for example, your NFT token. Right? I mean, I issue a token to you that is already available online. So we have a use case I can actually give it to you. So if you go to unique.co, that is the website. So we have
Yes.
already committed 10 million tokens over there. So these are
Okay.
digital collectible tokens, right? So
Okay.
we are actually selling physical arts where any vendors can come to our platform. They can publish their products, and these products can be sold on our e-commerce platform. This is a simple process of e-commerce, right? But to
Yes.
buy this, you need actually physical currency, or you want a bank transfer to do it, to buy these artworks, right? So to
Right.
get that, you have to use your debit card or credit card, right? And
Right.
if you are based out of India, then definitely you can just use your UPI or debit card to buy it from the website. But say for
Got.
example, somebody is based out of Russia, somebody is based out of Africa, somebody is based out of US. So how they do buy it? So now they have to use their credit card to pay for the services and the artwork they want to buy, and then after they will get it in XYZ days or weeks, wherever whatever the transport time takes place or the courier whatever takes it, right? The transport time takes it. But that transaction normally take 4 days to 5 days to come to your account. So if they are paying by dollars or Great Britain pounds, so it normally takes to 4 to 5 days to come to your account, because you cannot actually pack the product and send it to them until and unless you have a physical transaction taking place on your backend. Right?
Right.
It takes time. It also, there is again authenticity comes into picture because, say for example, I paid it, but I want my artwork to send to my brother as a gift. So in that case, you also need to see at the back end, okay, where the things are going to be, what is the reliability part of it, what is the cost is going to be, all these things. So just to avoid all these things, what I created is a token which is globally available. So you don't have to worry about Indian rupees. You don't have to worry about Great Britain pound. You don't have to worry about euros or where the money is coming from. So what I did is basically put it in a wallet, which is a digital wallet, and it's converted it to a token. So if you go to unique.co, so right now we have the pre-sale tokens available. So you as an investor can buy the tokens, or anybody who wants to buy the artworks or the products that is available, they can simply put their money into the token wallet, create tokens on their own. So the tokens are available, whatever their money size they are putting, which is globally accepted. And then after, they can simply go to my website or XYZ place and just buy it. So it's a marketplace. So that is what we called it, NFT marketplace. Yeah.
Right.
So there are already many players who have already created NFT marketplaces right now, and they are doing transaction there.
Right.
So that is very much, you talk about the non-fungible token. It can be built from private blockchain, or it can be created, in public blockchain as well. If it is, I would say, if it is already an institution. Say, for example, if you are creating a token on your personal basis, but you don't have any, I would say, registered company or registered organization, then it's a very much non-fungible token, or you can put it in a private token.
Right. Got it.
The same as, also we call it fungible token, which is already uniform. So which is identical, it has its specifications, and it has its unit of data stored on a digital ledger. So because you have now an organization, you can actually create all the KYC and give it to a bank, so that money is actually legit right now, or the tokens that you are creating is a legit token.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Right, so that it is accepted by your bank, it is accepted by your any organization, and then after do it. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of, until and unless you understand that feature part of it or the benefit part of it, we cannot actually differentiate. So say for example, if we're talking about NFT, it's like it's easily transferable. So anybody can just transfer from one person to another, even if they know them or even if they don't know them, right? That is very much possible. Second thing is your ownership. So say for example, I have 1,000 tokens on my wallet. If I send 200 tokens to your wallet, so you are now the owner of 200 tokens. I am the owner of 9,800 tokens, right?
800, right? Yeah.
So, but if you, as now you have 200 tokens, what are you going to do with these tokens, right? You need to buy from a marketplace, or you need to spend somebody or give it to somebody. So that is need to be like authenticated as well, where we need to have the trustworthiness.
Yes.
Right, so that anybody and everybody. So say for example, आज अगर आप पेटीएम के आपके पास 200 rupees है, ठीक है? I'm sorry, I'm mixing Hindi and English here to your
Doesn't
audience.
matter. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
So yeah, if you have these tokens available, so it needs to be as well as transferable as well. The limitations, there is no limitations in this.
Okay.
Right, so in that case, you have like private blockchain token, and you have also public blockchain token. But then you need a proper address to it, like a real place, your identity, your data, your certificates along with it. So all these things are already in the real world assets in blockchain. So you actually created that, then after convert it to tokens in cryptocurrency, and then do a transfer.